Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in to another 2-Minute Tuesday video. I'm Adam Parlberg and I'm glad to be with you. Just a couple weeks ago we had a video that touched on this super active early spring market that we're all experiencing and the idea of multiple offers. I want to play off of that today and talk about the idea of escalation clauses and how we're seeing them used in offers and where they can be an advantage or where maybe we need to think a little differently about those. So what's an escalation clause? An escalation clause is something along the lines of language like this. This buyer agrees to offer $1,000 more than any other offer that you, the seller, might receive. It's a way that a buyer is able to show their cards without necessarily overpaying unless it's done in the face of competition. So let's look at that first from the buyer side. What's the advantage there? I think the advantage clearly is this, that a buyer can have the comfort of stating that they're willing to go as high as a certain level, but that they maybe don't have to go that high if other offers aren't pushing them up there. So for instance, if a house is listed at $115,000, the offer that a buyer with an escalation clause makes maybe says, we'll offer you $120,000, but we'll go as high as $125,000 and pay up to $1,000 over any other offer if you have another offer that's over our $120,000, right? So they can have the comfort of expressing how high they'll go, knowing that maybe they aren't going to miss it for $1,000 if the other offer is $121,000, but also the confidence in knowing that, hey, if there isn't another offer, they can get it for $120,000. So there's an advantage perhaps for our buyers out there. On the seller side, what are the advantages to escalation clauses? Well, I think that it helps a seller maybe realize the highest and best price. If there's an escalation clause that maybe takes a buyer $1,000 higher than what their original offer was, that's to the seller's advantage. But I want us to pause there and also consider some of the pitfalls that come with escalation clauses. I think there's a real reality out there that escalation clauses perhaps leave buyers open to some sense of buyer remorse. When working with buyers, it's good to talk through all of that if you choose to use those. With sellers, it may be sometimes advantageous not necessarily to go with the offer that has the highest escalation clause, but maybe the offer that simply is the best one out of the gate. And I think that's an important point to emphasize, and hopefully you'll discuss here in your meetings today. But escalation clauses sometimes can also get a little messy when you've got multiple escalation clauses in a multiple offer situation. Usually they will ask for proof of other offers. Sellers and we as realtors aren't always comfortable providing the other offers we received to a competitor. So I want to give you one overarching piece of advice. You can take it or leave it, but the advice is this. If you have an escalation clause that maybe is in a situation of multiple offers, multiple escalations, and even more importantly, a situation where there may be seller concessions requested, at that point, does the escalation work off of the net offer or the gross offer, right? So here's what I'm going to recommend that we consider doing in escalation clause multiple offer situations, and that is this. Encourage a seller to simply not engage in the escalation clause, but simply counter the offer for a price at which we think that lead buyer is going to pay. If they say we're offering $120,000, but we'll agree to escalation up to $125,000, consider simply countering out the escalation clause and saying our counteroffer price is $125,000. I think from a contract standpoint, it means that we've got a much more solid deal if we can get them there. I think it means communicating that clearly to the buyer's agent that the escalation clause is out, this is just our number. But hopefully clear away some of the mess that comes with escalation clauses that we've been hearing about in and throughout our real estate community and create a more streamlined approach to have the buyers get the houses they want, have the sellers get top dollar, and put us all in a position where we've got contracts that are strong and carry through to close. That's the thought for today. Take it, run with it, make it a great day, and we'll see you next time.